Hi there, welcome to your online tutorial number 13, and we're going to continue with the final case study on district judges' applications in chambers, which is part 2 of your course. This time we're going to be looking at a case study for a repossession. Now, let me explain what that is. When someone takes out a mortgage to buy a property, i.e. borrowing money from a bank or building society to do so, they effectively have to sign a mortgage deed, which is a legally binding contract. And the main aspect of this contract is that they have to pay a certain amount each month over a period of time, sometimes 20 or 30 years, in order to pay the money back to the lender. Clearly, there are consequences if the borrower fails to comply with this and does not fulfill their obligations. In fact, the lender has various remedies available to them, and the most common is to sue the borrower through the courts for any outstanding payments that there are, and failing that, if that's not fruitful, then they can take possession proceedings, i.e. they can take back the property, sell it to get their money back. In actual fact, in theory, the lender has the right to repossess a property even if the borrower is 1 month behind in their payments, in their mortgage payments. In practice, they don't usually take action until much further down the line. And the reason for that is because they gain interest every month, which is added on to the amount that's owed, and that's how they get their money. So they would rather negotiate some kind of payment each month than have to repossess the property. It is a last resort for them. Now, once again, in this case study, there's no vast amount of documentation for you to read, but you must read the instruction letter, and there is an awful lot of complicated information to take in. It mentions, for example, the DSS, the Department of Social Security. It mentions support for mortgage interest, SMI. This is a payment that can be applied for someone who has a mortgage but who may have lost their job. If eligible, the payments are made towards their monthly mortgage repayments. Not the whole amount, just a part of each month's payments may well be paid by the mortgage support. In the old days, such payments were paid directly to the recipient, i.e. the beneficiary, in addition to any subsistence allowance that they may be eligible for. Clearly, though, this was not a good idea because of the temptation to pocket the money. And so nowadays, the monies are paid directly to the mortgage company. The case study we're going to be looking at was an actual case that took place before they changed the rule, i.e. before they changed the rule of sending the monies directly to the mortgage company. Now, in your course review test, you will be asked to draft an application as part of your test, and this will be based on your instructions on pages 27 and 28 of your course material part 2. The application in reality will be made verbally to the district judge in chambers, and it may only take 30 seconds to speak. But here are a few hints, and please take care of this because it will assist you in drafting this written application. You should always address the judge as sir or madam. Sometimes these days they refer to themselves as judge. So you can say, Judge, I would like to put forward this, or sir or madam. And you need only ask for what your client actually wants and the reason why the client wants it. So the crux of this is to read the instructions on page 27 and 28 very carefully indeed. You don't initially in your draft application need to go into too much detail, i.e. you do not have to mention any contingency plans or any contingency requirements unless the judge asks you. So, rule of thumb, when you're drafting an application to go to a district judge or to make to a district judge, all you need to initially state is your name, who you represent, what you want, and why you want it. And it shouldn't take you very long to draft or to speak it. Okay, that's the end of your online tutorial 13. See you at the next one.